More time on Tech Gumbo. Darren Gaucher on Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Haggai Davis here as always.
Hey, Darren.
From Gulf South Technology Solutions. We've had a fun show this week.
It's been a blast.
James is not going to like the fact that he missed this one, but he will enjoy listening to it. That's for sure.
He's missed a good one. That's right.
Because joining us in studio for 3 out of our 4 segments this week is Jeremy White, whom I've known for 10 years now.
A good while.
He is the founder, comedian-in-chief,
head dishwasher,
chief cook and bottle washer for TheRedStick.com, formerly Red Stick Magazine.
He's also the chief technology officer.
Yeah,
which is why he's here today.
Yeah.
I remember when you used to outsource that stuff, and then you said, I can do this myself. Mm-hmm. And you have.
And I didn't have to ask. I don't have to ask myself 4 or 5 times to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
And you built the new site on WordPress.
Yes, WordPress. We checked out. I know they have Joomla,
Typepad, Blogger,
but WordPress is so ubiquitous out there that you have all these plugins, and they're written, and 99% of them are free because it's so ubiquitous. You have people writing. I'm not to the level where I know how to code a plugin. I let other people do that. But you have all these plugins out there and themes. They have all these themes, maybe $40, $50, $60 for a theme.
And you're in business.
And you have a little bit of a learning curve, and sometimes plugins may not play well with others, but you learn. And
speaking of WordPress, we did a story a couple of months back, I think now, about WordPress. Have you done your updates, run your updates on WordPress lately?
I've got mine. I think they're automatically updating now, the updates.
Okay, good, because there was some issue with WordPress and people being able to do things to your website.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Malicious code or stuff like that?
They could get into your code and they could change things on your site so that other people who had whatever software, not everyone could see it, but they could go and they could change things.
Yeah.
Granted, if they went to your site and changed things, it wouldn't make it better. It would make it worse because, you got a great site, but there are sites out there that you would not want somebody to go and change.
No.
But you could imagine a humor website.
Right.
Could attract the ire of someone who would want to do them damage.
And that I guess I didn't think about it in that way.
Yeah, that's true too.
So you definitely want to make sure you got the latest updates out there because
mine it automatically updates
good
on its own, and then you go in and update the plugins, and hopefully the new plugin will work. Whoever did the plugin has done their testing, and it works fine, but. Very seldom do I run into a situation like that. And if you do, like I said earlier, you can get on the forums, you can contact the author of the plugin, and hey, I've got a little situation here, it's doing this. And a lot of times by the time I go in, other people have had the same problem. That's the thing about WordPress. You can have other people using WordPress and using these plugins, and they're going to run into the same issues. So oftentimes the answer is already out there most of the time. And so you're not going to be the first one to run into a problem.
And these online communities.
Yeah.
In search of the answer.
And they're very helpful most of the time. They're very helpful. And especially, once in a while, you might want to use a premium plugin where you actually pay for it.
Sure.
And you go to them, and they're definitely responsive and saying, okay, well, here's a problem. You need to fix this.
And the cool thing is, whenever you run into an issue and you're not quite sure, you just Google the problem.
Yeah.
And there's always been 1,000 people who have already come across what you're looking for.
Right.
It gives you some quirky-looking alert, type it, or just highlight it. Right-click in Google Chrome like I do, and Google search it, and you're going to get a bunch of responses and let me see which one is mine. Oh, yeah, this is what it's doing.
It's like what your doctor says. You think you're the only person in the world suffering from this problem?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're not.
No.
Yeah.
Chances are you are not.
Yeah.
Okay, got to ask a question, non-technical, but I thought of this when we were talking about this in the last segment.
Mm-hmm.
You ever make somebody so mad that they came after you? You ever piss anybody off really, really badly?
We just recently had a little deal with CB Forgotston.
Mr.
Oh, I saw that you're there.
This is Mr. Crusader here.
Yeah. We have the article up. I've been following CB Forgotten. If you don't know who he is, he's a well-known blogger, activist, lawyer, critic of the legislature and politicians in general, and overall just a general curmudgeon.
Does not suffer fools gladly.
No. Doesn't suffer really anybody.
Except Moon.
Except Moon Griffon, because Moon has me on every week. So CB, he's a keyboard warrior on Twitter. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know how much time he spends on Twitter. In 3 years, he's had over 15,000 tweets.
And the blogosphere before that.
And the blogosphere. He's still on the blogosphere, but he's big time on Twitter now.
Sure.
He's like a human bot. I mean, he's really, if you follow him on Twitter, it's Scott Agel, who's running for governor, and Jay Darden, who's running for governor, and for a while, LPB. And he's got a thing.
Really?
He's got a thing about Beth Courtney, CEO and president of LPB. Anyway, it's like they can't tweet without him responding.
So what did he do? Or what did you do to CB to make him so mad?
Originally, it didn't upset him. We did a tweet. We have the thing on our site called a news sticker, and it's a little ticker at the top, and it's a little throwaway headlines, like there's no story to them.
Laugh-In used to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the one we posted yesterday was like, media, Fox News suddenly develops South Carolina-sized blind spot. It's a current topic.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't know. I didn't know where we were going to go with that one.
Yeah, just a little throwaway headlines. So we threw one out there a couple of weeks ago. It said that CB Forgotten tells Twitter to get off his lawn. And he finds out about it like a day later, and then he sends, and I've got it, and that's the great thing about being in digital is that we can embed tweets and screenshots and links just to show, a full exposition in case you may not get the reference. Here's a link to a video or another article to kind of explain the backstory.
Right.
And stuff like that. And long story short, it's going to be impossible. We got into an all-out Twitter battle on a Friday a couple of weeks ago. And I was getting ready to play the governor in the Gridiron Show. And I'm in a Twitter battle with CB Forgotten. And so I've put together a thorough, comprehensive recounting of the episode. And we had an audience because that night at Gridiron and the next night, more people wanted to talk about my deal with CB Forgotten on Twitter than the show. It was just epic. And so my friends who don't follow politics read the article, thought I made him up.
Really?
They were like, who is this man? And I posted his Wikipedia page. My friend Nick, who produces Dork, hosts Dork, he's like, wait a minute, that guy's real? I go, yeah, he's real. He goes, I thought you made him up. I'm like, dude, I have tweets embedded. I have screenshots. He goes, I thought that was just a made-up account that just spew all kinds of random crap. I'm like, no, he's an actual guy. He goes, he's maybe I may be his biggest fan. He goes, that is an amazing cartoon of a man.
That's unbelievable. Well, that's kind of sad actually, because it used to be he was the guy that you would go to and ask, what's wrong with this picture, and he would tell it to you. This is really. It's really disheartening because you think someone like that would have a sense of humor.
You would think. And he says he does. That was the other thing, is that he said he was trying to get an explanation on the tweet. He wasn't mad about the tweet about getting off his lawn. He wanted an explanation. And according to his sources, the best he could tell is that we were making fun of him being old. Apparently none of his friends have the guts to tell him, you're a crabby old man. So he was trying to figure it out, and I tried to explain it to him, said, okay, well, we're just kind of making fun of your occasional tone. Oh, okay. And then he kept talking about getting off the governor's mansion lawn because the tweet was right next to a story that involved Jindal renting out the governor's mansion on Airbnb.
Right.
And apparently, even though he's been on Twitter for 3 years and he's tweeted 15,000 times, he still can't tell the difference between two distinct tweets. And so in my trying to explain to him, no. And the fatal mistake was I complimented him and said, I enjoy following you on Twitter. And that, Katie barred the door. Apparently, no one's ever told CB Forgotten, I enjoy following you on Twitter. And, of course, the first guy to do so is being a smartass.
Well, he's really not going to like this show.
No, tell us the technical parts of how to get in touch with, how to follow the Red Stick, how to follow you.
Red Stick is on Twitter at Red Stick, SHTICK, and it's like stick, red stick, but with an H before the T. And so
you can Google it too.
Yeah, you can Google it. We're
absolutely.
we're on Facebook, and we also have Dork Podcast at Dork Podcast, DORQUE, and The Family Dinner. You can follow them at The Family Dinner. So, and I'm at Comic Ref, in case you're looking for me on Twitter.
He is a referee too, doing
right.
football.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit of that.
And some of his calls have been like stand-up comedians.
You need the Fitbit. You need to track your steps. You'd be very impressed, I'm sure, all that running around that you got to do.
I need to get one of those.
Speaking of which,
go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/GulfSouthTech, and put in the keyword Fitbit. We're giving away a copy of Microsoft Office Professional 2013, the full $400 value, free, just by putting in the word Fitbit.
Facebook.com/GulfSouthTech. Gulf South Technology Solutions makes this program possible. Thank you, Jeremy, for being with us.
Yes,
Thanks
Jeremy.
for having me.
Jeremy, that was great. I really enjoyed this. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll have to have you back if Clarence will let you.
If Clarence will let me, I have to check with him.
But if we book you, ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. Tech Gumbo is on Talk 107.3 FM WBRP, Baton Rouge's local talk and information leader.